Hi, this is John from Chicago. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a review of the Furibee F36. This quadcopter has been out for over a year, and I featured this in two of my reviews, but I've never reviewed it alone. I compared it to the Sheen 010, where I said this quad was a gram lighter and it had more thrust, and it was a better bet if you wanted to put a camera on it. I also showed how to put a camera on it, but I never reviewed it on its own, so I think it's time that it gets its own review. The quad itself weighs 15.9 grams, and it has a 150 milliamp hour battery that weighs another 5.7 grams for a total of 21.5 grams. So it's very lightweight. When it flies around the house, it won't damage anything because of that lightweight. It also has these hoops on here. They're called ducted fans. They are supposed to direct the air down. I don't think it really gives it any more thrust or anything, but they add great protection bumpers, so you just bounce off things and just keep on going. What comes with this also is a little radio transmitter. It'll work for maybe 40-50 meters. You get a USB charger that plugs into a USB port, and it'll charge the battery. It takes about a half hour to charge. And you also get 4 extra propellers and a little screwdriver to open up your radio to put the non-included 3 AA batteries in. This is your radio to operate the quad. Your button in the center on the bottom is your on-off. You have your joysticks. The right one controls whether you're going forward. You push it forward, backwards, to the right, or to the left. That's your tilt of the quad, like on an airplane stick. And then your left joystick is throttle. You go forward, it's high throttle. To move it toward the back, it's 0 throttle. And then it does rotate. It'll rotate to the left if you go left, and it rotates to the right if you go to the right. The other items on here are, if you push down on your right joystick, that puts it in flip mode, and it'll do a flip, right, left, or forward or back. Then your left joystick, if you push down, that's headless mode. It'll go forward or backwards no matter which way the quad is pointing. I personally don't use that very much. Some beginners use it, but it's a crutch. It's better not to use. And then the last button is your trim strip here. Your trim. If you push down on your trim for your rudder, if it beeps twice, you're in high rate. If it beeps once, it's in low rate. And that controls the amount of angle the quad will have. If it's 2 beeps, it's pretty aggressive, and if it's 1, it'd be more like a beginner's mode. So that's the operation of your radio. First thing you want to do is plug the battery in. It slides in the little cage there, and then there's the little plug in the quad to plug it in. There's one edge of the plug with a little ridge on it that goes toward the center. So the holes, the 2 pinholes, are again toward the center on the quad, and they're on the center on the plug. Supposedly they'll only plug in one way, but if you mess it up, it'll burn it out. So it just goes in like that. Okay, as long as I got it here, okay, we'll turn the remote on. It's flashing the quad, and it bound already. So it's all bound and ready to go. Let's do a real quick thrust test before we get started here. Turn the quad upside down, and we tear the to 0. Wow, that was 40 grams of thrust. These little motors are fantastic. Last year when I did this, the Little whoops like this, they went anywhere from about 22 grams of thrust up to 37. So this was a new high at 40 grams of thrust. I don't know if they improved the motors or if it's just the battery. It's a brand new battery. Maybe that's what's doing it. But anyways, we had 40 grams of thrust. So that's one of the things that make this quad quite special, is the amount of thrust compared to some of the other options on these ducted fan quads. So to start off, we'll give it throttle. It starts to float, and we give it a little bit of forward pitch. And then the red light's in the center. Dropped a little, give it a little bit more throttle. Get her doing some nice circles up here. You want to keep it a couple inches off the ceiling so it doesn't stick. A little hot rod here, and this is only on the beginner mode. It's only on rate 1, so let me get it over to rate 2. Whoop. There, it's in rate 2 now, so we have a lot more tilt on the quad. Snow outside, so it's a good time to be flying this indoors. Okay, we'll try some flips here. Again, I'm pushing down on the right joystick, and when it beeps, it's in flip mode. It does nice tight flips. I'm going to go back to the first mode, 1 beep. Just gives you a little bit more, room on the throttle, or on the sticks, so you can move them a little bit more. This is a fantastic quad for under $12. I think I paid $7 for this for Black Friday, and I bought a number of them for around $10. I think the normal price is around $12. I bought this from GearBest, and I put a link down below in the description. It's very low cost, and it also flies good, and it won't cause any damage, so you could fly it indoors. And you could add a camera to it so you could actually fly FPV. For cons, I don't see any. And I also put a link to other ducted fan videos that I've done below. And if you have any questions or comments, please add those below. Thank you for watching.